Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about a new Guerlain product that I picked up during the Sephora sale. This is the Terracotta Luminnizer. It's a shimmering powder, which is a very fancy way of saying highlighter. So that will be today's video. We're going to do some product information, a demonstration, all that jazz. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. I picked up this new highlighter during the Sephora sale, like I mentioned, and this retails at 68 Canadian plus tax. Let's go ahead and break down some of the basics. So when you purchase this looks exactly like the terracotta bronzer. Like this compact here, it's the exact same. Like if I do one of those magic tricks here, you wouldn't be able to tell which one is which I kind of like. It's sort of just, I mean, you can't really stack them, unfortunately, because they're both like bulbous like this, but I do like the aesthetic of, just having your counter of all these little Guerlain compacts. So the luminizer here, it is 7 grams of product and it's made in Italy. Whereas the bronzer here, this is the one from last year actually. So it's been well loved, as you can tell. This one here is actually 10 grams of product and it's made in France. So I'm not sure why the bronzer has more product. The bronzer expires within 12 months of use, which means once you open it, you're supposed to throw it out after 12 months. I'm going to keep mine for longer. But this highlighter here, it says that it expires after 6 months, which is a very short shelf life. I don't know why certain products have such short shelf lives. That typically anything powder is going to last longer than anything cream or gel, but this is a powder, so I'm not sure why it says to throw it out after 6 months. So this release here has 2 highlighter shades. There is 01 Warm Gold, and then there is 00 Ivory, a Cool Ivory. And I got the Cool Ivory because just from the swatches, I thought maybe the Warm Gold was suited more for like deeper skin tones, but I'm not sure exactly. So I got 00 Ivory. And unfortunately, both of these are limited edition, which is very annoying. I was hoping that this was going to be permanent. Something about the packaging made me think it was permanent. It was just going to stay forever, but no, it's limited edition, unfortunately. Now let's go ahead and read off some of the claims and the product information. A resplendent golden complexion in a naturally derived formula, a true innovation in Guerlain's range of face powders, Terracotta Luminnizer shimmering powder, formulated with 96% naturally derived ingredients, reproduces the distinctive dazzling and sensual light of the golden hour, thanks to 2 shimmering shades, a cool ivory and a warm gold, for a radiant sensual glow. Natural origin luminescent shimmer creates a subtle golden glow, playing on multi-dimensional reflections. Its light second skin texture, very promising, settles like a delicate veil on the skin, forming a film of ultra-fine shimmer that captures the light to give a complexion a radiant, long-lasting glow. I'm seeing shimmer repeated a lot, and I'm a little concerned that it's going to be sort of like a chunky glitter. I like a highlighter that looks like melted, luminous, healthy glow. I don't want it. It does say that it's going to form like a veil on the skin, which I really hope so, but I'm just seeing the term shimmer like repeated a lot here. And it's infused with natural argan oil with moisturizing properties. The powder offers a long-lasting wear and absolute comfort all day. And this does have the iconic terracotta fragrance. For generations, the terracotta powder's legendary fragrance evokes summer with a sunny ylang ylang and orange blossom notes, warmed by vanilla and tonka bean on a sensual white musk base. This instantly is identifiable with a cult fragrance for Guerlain, so it's the same scent as always. I'm going to go ahead and throw the ingredient list on here. It's on the box, so go ahead and pause this and go have a look if you're curious or if you have any allergies to certain makeup products. This Cool Ivory shade is meant to look like a subtle pink with champagne, and I am a pretty big fan of champagne, so I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this here. It looks really beautiful. It looks like a sun, like a sunburst with all the rays, and I do like the idea of golden hour because everyone looks amazing during golden hour. Go ahead and do a swatch here. Okay, I'm not really seeing any glitter here. So this is the swatch. Just trying to, you know, catch the light here. So I'm not seeing a chunky glitter, which is great. It does look very subtle and natural on the back of the hand here. Okay. It says on the website that this luminizer can be used on bare skin or on top of your foundation. You can dab it on the cheekbones, the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, and you can also apply some under the brow bone here for eyeshadow, which I might go ahead and do. So right now, all I have on my face is skincare, sunscreen, and concealer. I'm not wearing any foundation, anything on the cheeks. This way we can see this highlighter in full effect. I will go ahead and add a bit of bronzer afterwards, but I just want us to see what this looks like here first and foremost on its own. So let's just go ahead and swipe in here. I think using a fingertip will definitely make this more intense. I was going in with a brush at first under the brow bone. It wasn't really showing up, but going like this and then just a little bit. I do think that this is subtle. I was concerned at first with the shimmer being repeated like a few times, like, oh no, is it going to be like a chunky shimmery glitter? But I think it's actually quite subtle. Like it's buildable, but it's not too much right away. So here is our side-by-side with the luminizer and without. What do you think? Which side do you prefer? I am actually quite pleasantly surprised. I was concerned with all of the shimmer verbiage before, that it would be like a chunky glitter. I think that this looks very luminous, but also natural. Like I did go a little bit ham on my nose here, but like I think that this just looks lit from within and very beautiful. I do find that it just sort of melts into my skin. I'm wearing a highlighter, but it doesn't look like a stripe of highlighter. It's sort of, yeah, it does sort of melt into the skin like a thin veil of luminous glow. So that's the product here. I think it does emphasize texture a little bit. I think I notice it more on my nose. I'm not certain if it's because I don't usually add a highlighter on my nose and I just decided to do so just to, you know, show off the product here. I think, I don't know, I think it emphasizes pores a little bit compared to this side here. Let me know what you think, because sometimes, you know, when you're examining yourself this close in mirror versus on camera, it looks a little bit different. But I do like it. It feels like nothing. I do think that it really does melt into the skin quite nicely and buttery. And there's no, like this one here, the Cool Ivory, I'm not noticing any chunky glitter. It's really quite nice. Okay. I'm happy. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side here. It is subtle, so you can build it up very softly. Like I just did a couple swipes like this in the compact. So you could just go very, very lightly like this and just have a very natural glow. It isn't a highlighter that picks up a ton of product. You know, some highlighters, it's almost like a little bit too much. You have to go very light-handed. Whereas this one here, you can build it up quite nicely. So this side here has a lot less, but this could be a look here, and then if you just keep adding, it's buildable. I think I appreciate products that are softer and more buildable versus ones that are too opaque and intense, because I find it easier to work with when it's softer and just more buildable like this. I also think that it's more user-friendly if you're someone who's not a makeup expert and you're not sure about highlighter placement or how much to add. If it's softer and more subtle, you'll have an easier time applying it because it won't look garish after one swipe. So I did apply a few times here. This is what it looks like. I just look really healthy. I just look very well rested. And like I always put greens in my smoothies. So now I'm going into my Terracotta Light. This is the bronzer from last summer. I have the shade 03 Medium Warm. And this one here in the tortoise shell, I don't know if you can tell, but originally there was like a sort of peach shade offered mixed into the bronzer. So I'm going to use this as a bronzer, but also a little bit on my cheek because this is a sort of multi-purpose product. It can be. It can have, it also has a little bit of highlighter in here. It's luminous. It's like a luminous bronzer, but the peach here can be a cheek product. So it's going to be multi-purpose for me today. I am new to the world of Guerlain Terracotta. I wasn't always a terracotta girl, but I've really been enjoying it for the past few summers, and it's always something nice to look forward to, like every summer from Guerlain having a new terracotta product. And this is not my first Guerlain highlighter. I have a couple. I have a compact. It was like a face compact, and I have one of their highlighting sticks from a few years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and offer some swatch comparisons in a moment. Now I have this terracotta stick from a few summers ago. This was several summers ago. It was the Nude Shade Terracotta Skin Illuminating Highlighter Stick. And I think this one here had a very strong scent. Like, oh my goodness, this is so perfumed. I liked it, but it was just so much scent. And so this is the shade here. I guess they're sort of similar. The highlighter stick is more intense. Anything wet, like a cream or liquid highlighter, will always be more intense. These are these two here. It's interesting that this one here is supposed to be a cool, but it looks a bit warmer compared to this stick here, the nude shade. Now I have this terracotta face contour glow palette. This one I quite enjoyed. And this one here has some sort of like blush highlighter combination. I'll go ahead and swatch this highlighter here. So this one here is much softer. And I would say it almost looks more shimmery, like it has more glimmer particles in it. And then I also have this highlighter from Chanel that was my absolute favorite when it came out. This is the Metal Peach highlighter, because I'm not like a huge highlighter girl. It isn't a makeup product that I am usually tempted by. It's often a makeup item that I can easily skip for whatever reason. But this one here, the Metal Peach, was my favorite for months after it came out. So let me just do a swatch underneath here. I think Metal Peach is a bit more pinky. Yeah, it's a bit more peachy and pink. So it's interesting that this Cool Ivory that was described as pink with champagne looks a bit more golden and warmer compared to this Metal Peach here. But you know, champagne is a little bit yellow. So I do think that this Cool Ivory is a nice balance. At first I was concerned. I was like, ooh, maybe Cool Ivory will be like a silver and look too light and too pale. But I think it's actually really beautiful. I think it kind of gives a little bit of a wet look on the cheek, but nothing too intense. You know, it's not like a stripe. I do think that it blends in. I think it's really lovely. I think this is going to be my highlighter for the summer. I know it's only April into May, but I think that this is going to be the highlighter that I carry for the, end of spring into summer season. So let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think? What do you like? I personally I quite enjoy it. I like that it's buildable. I like that it isn't too intense right away. That way you can wear it more naturally and you can wear it a bit more intense like I am wearing today. Is it giving golden hour? Because listen, everyone looks like a supermodel during golden hour. I can attest. And I think that this is probably close to a golden hour. It's kind of hard to recreate that magic, but I think that this looks really beautiful. I think it's pretty. Is it for you? I don't know. I mean, I think it's nice, but you know yourself, you know your budget, you know your collection, you know if you need a new highlighter in your collection. It's up to you, but I'm happy with my collection. I'm happy with my purchase here. But like I said, I'm not a highlighter girl, so it's not something that I buy a ton of. So now that I have this one here, I think I'll be satisfied for the next several months, maybe even year. Like, it's just not a product that I feel the need to, like, I'm not compelled to buy every new one. If it's eyeshadow or nail polish, that's a different story, but highlighter, less so. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. I think it's pretty. And those are my final thoughts. So I would love to hear from you in the comments. Have you picked it up yet? I think this is currently not that easy to find. I don't know why it's available through the Sephora site in Canada first. I'm going to go ahead and provide as many links as I can down below. Hopefully they work for worldwide, because I know most of you who watch me from the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, so, and other countries too. But those are like the top demographics. So I'll go ahead and provide as many links as I can. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.